Welcome back. Mr. Aribadu, you were talking about the young people and how we can get them more involved. Here, just talked about a young man who has the largest rice farm, 36 years old. Now, there are a lot of other young people who want to do this. I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine who is in Akwa Ibom. She's from Imo State. She wants to go into farming. She works in a bank, and she's quitting her bank job to go into farming. No incentives, no support whatsoever. Even to get the land is a problem. And you say it's possible to get them to go in there.
Yes, thank you. There are many issues, hindering prospects of people who want to go into agriculture. And that is why we keep harping on what government needs to do. There are certain things that government needs to take the lead, and then private sector will be encouraged to follow. There's not been any other time that young people have been so responsive, to the call, campaign for them to go to the farms, especially now that we've seen a lot of potentials along the value chain of many crops. However, how easy is it for a woman or a young person who want to access land for agriculture to do so? How easy is it for them to access financial input, to do their business? We know that government has said they are going to recapitalize Bank of Industry, Bank of Agri. Especially Bank of Agri is really not been up and doing for quite a while. Bank of Industry has been doing much more. So we expect that, okay, if government is really serious about this and it does what it says it's going to do, that's an incentive for young people to want to come in. Then you need to deal with issues of land. The city keeps going to push out the farmers. We may not be seeing much of it in Lagos because there's practically no farming land in Lagos, just a little here and there. In Badagry, in Ikorodu. But what we're saying is that look at, for instance, the lake rice concept. So you, Kebi, you have the land, you have the manpower to grow the rice. We are a small state, but we have the technology to mill. This is the kind of relationship that should exist between local government to local government, state to state, that will help young people to really find their space. So it is possible. What government has been doing so far is encouraging. Whether they will do the whole mile is what we are yet to know. And how will they support that with knowledge? The knowledge input we have in the agri sector is too small. Of course, another big challenge there is that a lot of research that is being done still remains at the shelf.
So there's research, but it's not being
utilized.
a
lot of it remains at the shelf.
Let me come back to you, the entrepreneur in agriculture. He's talked about government needs to do some things to encourage the private sector to come into agriculture. But you're looking for, you're a businessman who's looking to make money and who's looking to, in the area of agriculture. What's wrong with employing people and then going to, as in employ them to go into farming for themselves? So they make the money and pay a portion without waiting for government. In other words, is there a crime against taking the initiative? I mean, if you can provide generator for yourself.
Nobody is saying that government should provide the enabling environment. It's not for government to come in and say, government will have to do this. I mean, nobody in very serious economy, you don't depend on government. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: if you have the necessary infrastructure, for instance, you have good roads to those places you are talking. Are you getting me? You have your produce, you have storage that you can keep them. Are you getting me? That was the essence of the silo project, so that you can give those things to government, they keep for you, so that you can stabilize the price. It doesn't make sense if I went into farming, at the end of the day, I come back with loss. It would not encourage the average young man to say he wants to go to farming. Now everybody is saying farming is lucrative. I'm yet to see how lucrative farming is anyway.
Really?
So, yes.
And you've been doing this for how long?
I've been doing it for about 2 years thereabout. Okay. Because it's a learning process, basically. What somebody told me in this business is that the year you say you want to leave, that is the year you make your money. That was what the guy told me. So, and I'm beginning to believe. So basically, so to speak, it's not as if we are saying government should be the godfather, as in put down money and all that. Government has come with the anchor program, whatever. In my own area now, I don't think anybody knows about that program. That is why it's extremely essential for there to be adequate communication via the extension services people. So, for instance, the government said they were going to employ 100,000 people to do
50,000.
150. I'm here to. We've done like 2 or 3 planting seasons now since they made that pronouncement. Government is like almost a year and a half into their tenure now. So what is going to happen? So another government is going to come in and jettison the idea.
I understand they want to use the Empower program to send some of them to agriculture extension. Wouldn't that be a good avenue?
If they do that, that would be great. And that's what we really are looking forward to. If you can enable young people by having many of them go into the extension, and those who have the benefit of extension experience will probably end up also as farm owners themselves. Nigeria is very far behind in terms of average ratio of farmer to extension service. Somebody like Mr. Olajolo, who says he's been there for 2 years and he hasn't made profit, you probably cut the learning process by good merging if you had extension support. He was just telling me before we came here that where he has his farm in somewhere in Oyo, the people there don't see extension workers. And that's my experience going around this country. The agri development programs of the 80s have perhaps, all gone moribund. There is no extension support. None of the states are not employing extension workers. You have extension workers who are in their office somewhere, and the farmer is on 3-4 hours.
Just in the ministry.
Yes. And new concepts have come around the issue of extension. You have farmer-led extension. You have community-led extension services. So you can actually empower people within communities, support them with technology backend so that they can provide these services. Information is key. So you want to plan something today and the information about it change tomorrow, you need that information to get